Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us on this Friday morning. It is September 29th. Lisa, Lydia, Scott here. We're going to get to the weather in a quick second because it's dark in Fargo. We know it's moving on in. You've been tracking some hail. We just want to remind you, of course, we're live every weekday morning. You're going to be able to watch this on your feed anytime after we're done. We make it into a podcast. Go to inform.com/podcast. Look for the Inform Minute. We're also on your Inform YouTube channel and live on air. All this morning on air on First News, you were tracking the storm that's now finally pushing into our area.
Yeah, so they were down in South Dakota all morning long through most of First News. And then finally they have crossed over that North Dakota-South Dakota border. They are rumbling through southeastern North Dakota right now and just kind of scraping the very south end of Fargo. The severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect right now does technically include Fargo, so you're probably getting those alerts on your phone from the Storm Tracker app letting you know that you are included in a severe thunderstorm warning here in the metro. But again, the worst of it is missing us to the south. Still some lightning. My husband just drove through Harwood, so to the north of Fargo, and said there's some lightning up in that area. I've seen lightning on my Fargo tower cam. It is much worse down to the south, though, where they are getting heavy rain. Hard to see anything on my Wapton tower cam right now because it's coming down so hard. So windshield wipers on full blast, if not pulling over. That kind of heavy rain within this thunderstorm. And then thunder, lightning, of course. Small hail is a possibility. The hail threat is actually starting to diminish and the wind threat is kind of taking over. We've seen thunderstorms kind of cluster together, and as that happens, wind becomes a primary threat, kind of mixes down some of the upper level winds and pushes it down close to the surface. And with that push, you can get some damaging wind gusts up near 60 miles an hour, enough to maybe knock over a small tree or some dead branches. There could be some small damage out there. Don't expect anything crazy, but those are becoming the threats with these thunderstorms this morning. They will continue their trek up to the northeast. They're moving at about 45 to 50 miles an hour, so that's a quick mover.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's booking it pretty well. So if you are in Lakes Country, Detroit Lakes, you're about to get this within, I'd say, the next half hour to an hour or so as this is pushing in up into your direction. Then, once this wraps up by midday, man, it's going to be a beautiful afternoon. Sunshine will take over, the wind out of the north at 5 to 15, and temps in the 70s. So great weather for Friday Night Football, Moorhead Homecoming Parade, NDSU Homecoming Parade, of course. So it'll be a very nice afternoon and evening. We just have to deal with some bumpy weather this morning. I'd love to hear what you're seeing, too. If you have heavy rain, if you have damage reports from any of the hail or the big winds, let me know. I'd love to know what you're seeing out there. And then for the weekend, tomorrow looks great, a little bit breezy, east-southeast 10 to 20, temp to 79, close to 80, and a mostly sunny day. Great weather for tailgating tomorrow.
Wow.
Sunday is our hot day, October 1st, forecasting 87 degrees. 90 is the record, so I mean, it's close. Yeah, we're inching closer and closer. We did warm up that forecast. And then still toasty on Monday, 86 is what we're forecasting before temperatures start to crash. 70s on Tuesday, 60s on Wednesday, 50s then for the rest of the 10-day.
Yeah, big change.
That'll feel much more October-like. Yeah. For sure. Okay, I think that's everything.
Okay.
We'll have live updates on the air here within the next 10, 15 minutes. GMA gets to decide when my cut-ins are, and this one kind of wiggles. So I'll keep an eye on thunderstorms, updating on my Facebook page, of course, and then I'll update you on air, too. Right now, just the one severe thunderstorm warning.
Okay.
All right.
Okay,
Thank you, Lydia.
Make sure to download that Storm Tracker weather app in case anything changes or something is headed towards your area. That'll let you know.
All right. Lydia already kind of mentioned this, but we want to remind you, of course, a couple of big parades happening in our area today. Today heads up to drivers, too, because you will run into some road closures. Both Moorhead High School and NDSU homecoming parades happening. So let's start with the Moorhead Parade. It's going to be running along 20th Street South, which is a pretty busy stretch in Moorhead. It's going to start at 24th Avenue South and at 8th Avenue South, cut near Rumpke Park. That parade starts at 4.
And then NDSU Homecoming Parade, that's going to be at 5:30 this afternoon. The parade is actually back on campus this year for the first time since 2012. The route is going to be along 12th Avenue North, 17th Avenue North, University, in that area. Those roads will also be closed from 5 to 7 tonight while that parade is happening, so just be aware of that.
NDSU Homecoming Week, of course, we've been talking about all of the events all through the week, but, you know, it leads up to the big game tomorrow. The Bison football team is playing the University of South Dakota tomorrow. They have beat them 6 straight times. Lydia talked about this. The tailgating should be great. The game's at 1, so that means tailgating starts even earlier.
Yeah.
Like 5.5 hours before the game.
Get ready to go early in the morning.
Okay, so I want to remind you, of course, we're going to have our Home of the Herd pregame show on from 10 to 11. The game, like I said, starts at 1. That means our coverage goes on air at 10 to 1, so 12:50. You can join Dom and the whole crew. And if you want a little more action, of course, the volleyball team, we talked about this too. The volleyball team's having their homecoming game tomorrow night at 6, and they're taking on Omaha.
Yes. Big
So
weekend.
lots going on.
For sure. All right, today a stretch of Highway 34 near Detroit Lakes is set to reopen. It's the that section, County Road 29 and County Road 26 to 47 near Osage. All that's been closed since July for construction. It is reopening, but you should know still some delays and stuff because crews are going to be putting all the finishing touches on, making it look all pretty and nice for you to drive on. So 21-mile resurfacing project, so should be smooth sailing there in just a few weeks.
New this morning, a man wanted for armed robbery is behind bars. Grand Forks police had been looking for him since July. We now know 40-year-old David Whitlow Jr. is in jail. He's charged with 2 Class B felonies, armed robbery and armed burglary, as well as 4 Class C felonies. His accomplice, according to police, he's already been arrested, Michael Landvik. He was arrested actually in August and has since pleaded not guilty, but we will continue to follow that story for you.
The Fargo Public Schools Board has passed its budget for the school year. It's set at more than $186 million. They voted on that this week in a meeting, passed unanimously. But several community members did speak up against what they thought is overspending compared to other large districts like West Fargo. Under this budget, the school district should end the year with a balance of $41 million. That figure represents about 22% of the annual general fund for the school. That lines up with federal standards from the government. It suggests that schools should try to end with a balance between 20-25% of their total fund. If you want to read more on the budget and any objections to it and what it's all going towards, just check out this story on inforum.com.
And are you ready for some Friday night football? We have some great games for you on WDAY Extra and WDAY Plus. First on Extra, it's going to be the Fargo South Bruins facing off against the Davies Eagles. That game at 7 tonight. And then on WDAY Plus, the Perm Yellow Jackets will take on the Fergus Falls Otters. That game starts at 6 o'clock tonight.
All right, a lot of action. All right, this is breaking news this morning. Senator Dianne Feinstein has died. She was 90 years old. The California Democrat was the oldest member of the Senate. She had been declining in health for months, but now has passed away. She served in the Senate for 30 years. She died last night, that according to a family member.
And right now, the looming government shutdown, 48 hours to go before the government runs out of funding. Federal lawmakers have until tomorrow night to figure out a way to stop it, to find some money. Since 1976, the U.S. has had 20 federal funding gaps, most of them happening when one party wasn't in control of the White House, the House, and the Senate, which of course is the current situation as well, but a story we're tracking.
All right, today on Hot Mic with Dom Izzo, Missouri Valley Conference play opens up this weekend. He's going to preview all of the games, including UND's matchup with top-ranked South Dakota State. Plus, Dom's dad returns to the show to deliver his NFL picks, and we'll see if he picks the Vikings or the Jets to finally get a win this weekend. That's from 9 to 11 on WDAY Extra and Inform.com.
And now is a great time to get that Inform.com subscription, 99 cents a month for your first 3 months. All access past all of the news we've been talking about this morning.
And you can join us the rest of the day on air as well. Our next newscast is at 11 o'clock this morning, then 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10. You're going to want to make sure you track that weather throughout the day for your evening plans, although things will be nice tonight, as Lydia said. Otherwise, you can join us on First News throughout the weekend, and then we'll be back Monday morning with First News from 5 to 7 in the morning.
Have a great day, everyone.
Bye.